This Sunday morning, I'm going to get a cup of coffee because I really like that cup. Yes, I can make it at home. And then I'm going to study a little bit, go back to the building and study a little bit. Then we have class and then worship. And the question would be for a lot of people nowadays, why? Why would you go to this, what looks like a special building, and do all these things for a God that you can't see, have never met, can't prove in those terms scientifically or empirically? Why? Because I believe. That's my second vow. This is A Quest for Greatness with Zach Krug. I am that man. And this is a look at a personal relationship with God, especially for Christians, not only for it, but especially for those of us who are followers, making sure we have that relationship, detailing what that is through truth, sharing my own personal experiences, my ups and my downs, as well as debunking some of the myths and the false beliefs about Christianity that are held by us mainly. I hope that you'll subscribe. I hope that you'll check out other videos on the channel, comment on these if they help you, comment if you don't understand them, if you dislike them, if you disagree with them. Hit that like button either way and get involved with us. There's some new things to be on the lookout with the Quest, and those are some study opportunities. There will be topical studies on personal development, and there will be some textual studies that deal with the text specifically. Hopefully they will help you in your personal life. They may even help people in teaching Bible classes, from a lot of different age groups, especially middle school, teenagers, and adult classes and so forth. But be on the lookout for those. We're going to start ramping up our production. We're right now in the planning phases. Be praying about it if you're one of those people, and hopefully it will be another tool that will be a video version of what we used to buy as class books or personal books to read and so forth. And we're going to try our best to put out something that's effective and that helps people. So many people in our part of the country who are vacationing and out doing all kind of stuff this morning, up early, and very few of them are going to quote unquote church. And I mean that literally, that with those quotes. But very few of them are headed to worship this morning. And the question for me is, why? That almost sounds disrespectful, doesn't it? Because I don't even mean it that way. I know why. They don't believe. They really don't. And everybody gets that choice. But for me, I got to think about me. You got to think about you. Now, as this channel is geared toward Christians, a lot of you who are watching, not most of you, are children of God. And you got to look at you and I got to look at me. Did you know that belief and faith in the English are just about the same thing? Many times the same word is translated either belief or faith. Now there's more Greek than that to it, but simplistically, that's true. Belief, it fits in with Hebrews 11:1, that idea of faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen, because it fills in the gaps. I can't prove to you, as I mentioned before, God. It's probably sun right in your eyes. I can't prove to you in those, I can't explain everything about God to you. It doesn't come only by reason. It doesn't come only by knowledge. There was a bunch of people in Acts chapter 2 that were guilty of crucifying Jesus. Now, all of us are. But those people were right there and consented to it, were involved in many ways, and did not believe that Jesus was the Son of God. They saw miracles that day at Pentecost. They heard the first gospel sermon, Jesus crucified and resurrected, and forwards make noise all the time. And it says in verse 37, after Peter was done preaching his part, that they were cut to the heart. Because they believed that Jesus is the Son of God, that he did die, that they were guilty, and that's the belief. One guy said it a long time ago, if you can believe Genesis 1 and verse 1, the rest of the Bible should come fairly easy. Can you believe that a creator that has never not existed and will never not exist created all of this out of nothing? I know they make fun of us. I know they do. But the truth is, the people who believe in opposite theories such as evolution about the world's existence and where it, how it developed, all those things, they believe too, because they don't have all the facts they say they do. They just scream a lot louder at times. But there are lots of things that they just believe and accept, and they don't know for a fact themselves. We do the same thing. The question becomes, does God make sense? Do you really believe? I'll get into more of that. Yep, you've seen it before. Small building, small congregation. But hey, we have a lot of great things here, and we family, and that's real. That's not me being funny whatsoever. So I'm about to study. I'll be back with you on this belief thing after a while. I gotta show you this one thing that makes my Sunday mornings. The guy would kill me. Sorry about the echo. The guy would kill me if I showed him on camera probably. But let me see if I can get you. Yeah, that right there is Dale. And I love seeing that car because I love when Dale's here because he makes, he's open-minded, first of all, which is a difficult thing to find. Speaking of belief, to be open-minded. I could go on a rant right now and I'm holding back because later on, but he's open-minded and he literally filters everything through the scriptures. There's an example for that I've already mentioned, but maybe I'll come back to, but I enjoy when he's here because he challenges me too. Love it. You know why else he's here early? It's 9:25. We start class at 10. You know why? Because Dale will sit in there and read and study and get his mind ready for over 30 minutes. I'm telling you, the guy, you talk about a relationship with God, those are examples, not all inclusive, but those are examples. So it's a couple of days later and the mood is a little different because I have not mastered vow number 2, nor will I ever, but that's not the cop-out nor the point. The idea is to grow and to keep learning how to believe. And you find out that it's not such a simple concept, and it's not something that you just say either. It's like telling somebody that you love them. That's easy to say all the time. The hard thing to do is to be a servant and to sacrifice yourself for another person, because that's the only real love, and the rest of it is a cheap knockoff. Now, belief, that vow to believe in God is the same thing. It's not as cheap as what it sounds like. There are a lot of people who would say right now, I believe in God, but they don't serve. And a lot of people don't even realize that it's more than just a mental, assertion. Yeah, it's more than just acknowledgement, put it that way. There's a lot of people that acknowledge God. The Bible deals with that, at least in James chapter 2. I believe it's around verse 19 where he says, you believe that, you believe in God. That's great, essentially. You have to go back and read it. I'm paraphrasing. It's great that you believe in God. The demons believe and tremble. In that sense, they acknowledge. Nobody mistakes demons for being saved or right with God. They acknowledge God. That's a cheapened form of belief. It's a misuse of the word. When you go to John 14 and verse 12, Jesus says, surely, surely, those who believe in me do the works that I do, and many more, much more, because he said, I basically am going back to the Father, so there'd be more opportunity. So right there, he parallels belief, or actually connects and attaches obedience to belief. So nobody can rightfully say, I believe in God, I believe in Jesus, without obedience, because it's not the belief that the Bible talks about. It's no more than acknowledgement. The demons do that. So what? And therein lies, the rub, as you will. And that's part of my struggle, is like a song we sing, trust and obey. That's an old school song. Probably most of you know it. And I got the obey part not completely figured out, but I understand that part. Susan and my sister came up with a different version for legalists or overly legalistic mentalities. And their version would be try and obey. But there's got to be some way if you just try and obey. And that's a lot of my problem. Belief is trust. It is depositing your trust in God, in faith. And the struggles, the reason why the different tone today is because of the struggles. Me trying to do everything I possibly can without trusting God. And this song keeps popping up in my head to seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things will be added to you. It's not just a song, it's from Matthew chapter 6, where it talks about in verse 33, uses almost that exact phrasing. Look for God first. The rest of this stuff and all these things, that's the stuff he's talked about in the verses prior to it, that people like me are concerned about. How am I going to get through this? How am I going to get to this point? How is this going to work out? And he says, look for God first. The rest of that stuff will be taken care of. I realize this is going to be a lengthy video, but it just takes some time. I wanted you to see the struggle. It's not an easy thing to record. I've done it a couple of times before, and I'm not being detailed today, but it doesn't matter. The problem is that I'm James 4 right now. James 4, again, the memory fails today, but around verse 13 and so, it says, come now, you who say today or tomorrow we will go into such and such a city, spend a year there buying and selling and make profit. When I ought to say, if the Lord wills, which means I'll ask him and I'll ask for his direction and guidance. And that's really not what I'm doing. I'm trying, try and obey, but I'm not trusting that he'll take care of it. I'm trusting in my plans and what I want to happen and what I think I should make myself do. And I'm not asking for God's help or God's guidance or his leadership. And so it's an ongoing struggle. And you're talking to somebody who's been a Christian since he was 9 years old. And I'm still learning, which is part of the equation, still growing. But that's, in a nutshell, that's belief. That's this vow. All right, about to get to work. Attitude and the mood has changed a little bit in just about, 45 minutes since I last video because of prayer. It works. God works. So the question of the video, I forgot to get to that. The question of the video is, do you understand the difference in acknowledgement and belief? Do you understand it for your life? Don't worry about so much what everybody else understands or doesn't. I mean, that's important, but we're talking about your relationship with God. Do you understand the difference between acknowledgement and real belief and trust? And that's probably a yes or no question. Maybe you want to comment below. I'm asking you to comment below, yes or no. If you don't, tell me what you don't understand. I'll try to deal with that. And if you do, just put a simple yes. It helps out. A couple of people commented, both of them family, but I appreciate it on the last video. And again, subscribe, follow this journey. I want you to have a relationship with God. I want you to be great, as well as I do too. And only God defines that term, greatness. All right, so I hope your day is good. My day is going to be good because of God. And I just have to, keep going, keep trusting, keep doing what he wants me to do. And that's it. And letting that be the standard. All right, I'm out. P.S. The reason for the attitude change and the change in demeanor is again, like I said, because of prayer, because of faith. I didn't get any resolutions in the last 45 minutes. Nothing's been fixed. There's still a lot out there that I need answers to, that I want answers to maybe. And the difference is belief in that faith. It is the answers, and faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. And so hopefully that teaches.